What country was home to the painter of Girl with a Pearl Earring, Johann Vermeer? St. John's.
The Netherlands?
Correct.
Yeah.
According to an Old English proverb, what do still waters do? I'm sure there's a story there for St. John's why that was funny. Still waters run deep. Who referred to the title city as Hog Butcher for the World in his 1914 poem, Chicago? St. John's?
Langston Hughes?
No, Carl Sandburg. What systems connected in Newton's cradles consist of a swinging weight hanging from a pivot? St. John's.
Pendulums?
Correct.
Okay.
Who wrote a poem that opens, "Tonight I can write the saddest lines," which is part of his collection, 20 Love Poems and a Song of Despair? Give up? Pablo Neruda. The poems Quiet Night Thought and Drinking Alone by Moonlight were written during what country's Tang Dynasty? St. John's.
China?
Correct. Name the puzzle solved when each row, column, and square has the numbers 1 through 9. St. John's.
Sudoku?
Correct. What Chinese religion was founded by Lao Tzu? Elmwood.
Taoism?
Correct. And that's time. And I think St. John's has just set a new mark, Rich, for the best first-round performance that we've seen. 100 points. Elmwood, not bad. Still 20, though you are 80 points behind, and you will go first in the volley round when we come back.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. Welcome to the volley round. The volley round, the first question goes to the team with the lowest score. If they answer correctly, they are awarded 10 points, and the next question goes to the opposing team. If any team answers a question incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that question and still receive their question. Good luck.
So back here for the volley round on Brainiacs Bowl, and Elmwood is in kind of unfamiliar territory. They were so dominant against Heritage Christian so far, they've run into the buzzsaw that is St. John's. That means, Elmwood, you get the first crack at it in the volley round. Let's begin. Elmwood, Agrippina the Younger was accused of poisoning what Roman emperor, the successor of Caligula and predecessor of Nero?
Pass.
St. John's, chance to steal.
Pass.
It's Claudius. St. John's, a magic lamp and a genie are characters in what collection that includes the stories of Ali Baba and Aladdin?
1001 Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights is correct, and you do not have to buzz in this round.
Oh, okay.
Elmwood, signs that say Mr. Sanders and ring also with ring misspelled adorn the front door of what fictional character's house?
Pass.
St. John's?
Pass.
To Winnie the Pooh. St. John's, Nick Saban and Bear Bryant coached football
Alabama.
at what Southern University? University of Alabama is correct. Elmwood, Celtic and Rangers are historically the biggest soccer teams in what country?
Ireland?
No, sorry, St. John's?
Sure. Scotland.
They are in Scotland, correct. St. John's, salt and water are produced from the titration of what monoprotic acid with sodium hydroxide?
HCl. Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid.
That is correct. Elmwood, what American author wrote about Ichabod Crane's disappearance in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
Pass.
St. John's?
Irving.
Irving is correct. St. John's, name the French realist artist who painted A Battle at Ornans.
Dali.
No, sorry, Elmwood?
Pass.
Gustave Courbet. Elmwood, Call Me Ishmael is the opening sentence of what novel by Herman Melville?
Pass.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick is correct. 10 points for St. John's, and this is your question. What ruler sent Gilles Ianesh on an expedition to pass Cape Bojador, discovering the Azores for his kingdom?
No, the ruler of Portugal. Sure. Wait, the ruler. Prince Henry the Navigator. Henry the Navigator?
Correct.
Okay.
Well done. Elmwood, in what rebellion did 57 drunken men from the namesake city kill 20 Conestoga Indians out of anger?
Learned this in 8th grade. I don't remember what it is.
Pass.
Now, unfortunate. St. John's?
Pass.
It's the Paxton Boys Rebellion. St. John's, a novel by what author subtitled Life Among the Lowly led her to be called the little woman who made the Great War? Looking for the author.
Wait, no, it's what was the Uncle Tom's Cabin person?
Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Harry Beecher Stowe.
You got it. Correct. St. John's, rising from the Guinea Highlands, what river is the third longest in Africa and is the namesake of 2 countries?
The Niger.
Wasn't your question, it was Elmwood.
Oh. What?
It's a what?
What should we do with that, Rich? Elmwood, 10 points for you. St. John's, name this West African country governed from Ouagadougou.
West Africa. Nigeria.
Niger.
No. Elmwood?
Mali?
No, Burkina Faso.
Either all.
That's time. Well, it doesn't hurt you too much, St. John's. I wouldn't sweat it. At this point, you have a 150-point lead, 180 to 30 on Elmwood, but it still could change with the lightning round coming up next.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on DCSN is brought to you in part by Unison Health and the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board of Lucas County, reminding you that it's your time, your choice. Welcome to the Lightning Round. In the Lightning Round, each team gets 3 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. 10 points will be awarded for each correct answer. This round will begin with the team that has the lowest score. Good luck.
Welcome back to Brainiacs Bowl. Time now for the lightning round, and this is Elmwood's time to make up some ground. They're in a significant hole here, down 150 points to St. John's. But, guys, for the next 3 minutes, the floor is yours. Good luck. What former immigration facility turned museum can also be seen on a New Jersey quarter?
Ellis Island.
Correct. Vaughn Williams wrote a piece for one of what animals ascending, while Charlie Parker was nicknamed the yard variety of them?
Pass.
Bird. What devices require a condition of mostly excited states known as population inversion in their gain medium to cause stimulated emission?
Pass.
Lasers. What novel in which a character becomes convinced Napoleon is the Antichrist was partially adapted into the musical Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812?
Pass.
War and Peace. Kublai Khan conquered what Chinese dynasty in 1279 that succeeded the Tang?
Pass.
The Song Dynasty. What city's Lombard Street in the Russian Hill neighborhood is often called the crookedest street in the world?
San Francisco.
Correct. Cinco de Mayo celebrates what country's defeat at the Battle of Puebla after attempting to install Maximilian as emperor?
France.
Correct. Nicolas Maduro has been the controversial president of what country since 2013?
Venezuela.
Correct. What textile art that involves a loom is used to create fabric?
Weaving.
Weaving is correct. What South Asian country was called Ceylon until 1972?
Pass.
Sri Lanka. What Danish physicist's model involves electrons orbiting in quantized energy levels around a nucleus?
Bohr.
Bohr is correct. Who led China during the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests?
Pass.
Deng Xiaoping. What state contains Mount Elbert, the second tallest mountain in the contiguous U.S.?
Wyoming.
Colorado. Arnaud is the love interest of Frederick Moreau in what author's novel Sentimental Education?
Pass.
Flaubert. Elmwood Edwards, who died in November 2024, was the voice of what three-word phrase for America Online?
Pass.
Ask your parents. You've got mail. Which president was famously photographed holding up a copy of the Chicago Tribune after criticizing a do-nothing Congress in his presidential campaign?
Truman.
Correct. In 2022, a Reddit poster discovered that much of what website's Scots edition was gibberish?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is correct. Name this historic Greek city-state in Boeotia that was home to the secret band?
Pass.
Thebes. Bobby Orr, Ray Bourque, and current captain Brad Marchand are most commonly associated with what NHL team?
The Kings.
Other coast, Boston Bruins. What city's central business district contains Lafayette Square? And time is up. The answer was New Orleans. Well, you gave it a good go there. You're back to 110 points. You've closed the gap a bit, but now it's St. John's time to shine, and they have really shined through the first two rounds. You guys all set down there?
Yes, sir.
Set.
I know you are. Your 3 minutes starts now. A collection about what event contains one story about the patient wife Griselda and another about Federigo's falcon?
Oh, this is the Black Death, right? Sure. The Black Death?
Correct. In a film by what director is Radio Raheem killed after playing the song Fight the Power inside Sal's Pizzeria? Need the director, not the film.
Shoot, it might be King. I think it's King.
King?
Say again?
King?
Sorry, it's Spike Lee, and the film was Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
What author mimicked the structure of Howard's End in their novel On Beauty?
Pass.
Zadie Smith. What senator from Ohio names the 1890 Antitrust Act?
Sherman.
Correct. In a book titled For What Concept Did John Rawls Develop the Veil of Ignorance?
Rights, I guess.
Rights?
justice, specifically. Merging with the Imjin River, what other river empties into the Yellow Sea along the demilitarized zone?
Oh,
Shoot. I don't know.
pass.
The Han River.
Okay.
Name this aromatic compound with formula C6H6.
Benzene.
Correct. The word parasha colloquially refers to a weekly reading of what text?
The Quran.
Oh,
Wait,
sure.
is the Quran?
He's
The Quran.
No, the Torah. What West African country is less than 31 miles wide at its widest point?
This is the Togo, right?
Yeah.
Togo.
No, it's the Gambia.
Oh, that's like tall.
Oh, yeah.
Name the play in which the title character disobeys Creon's decree and buries her brother Polynices.
Pass.
Antigone. What French fashion house and creator of the Papillon is known for creating leather handbags with the monogram LV?
Louis Vuitton.
Correct. What Southeast Asian country, led by Sukarno and Suharto in the 20th century, was previously colonized by the Netherlands?
Indonesia.
Correct. Max Ernst was a member of what art movement that also includes Salvador Dali?
Surrealism. Yeah. Surrealism.
Correct. The Kasu Marzu variant of what food is banned in the U.S. because it contains live maggots?
Pass. Oh, cheese.
Can I accept, or did they pass first? They passed first, but it was cheese. With the capital at Nassau, what is this Caribbean nation? With the capital at Nassau, what is the Caribbean nation southeast of Florida? There we go.
Oh, the Bahamas. The Bahamas.
Correct. In baseball, what position did Pudge Rodriguez, Buster
Catcher.
Posey, and Johnny... catcher is correct. What minority group was the subject of a 1915 genocide at the hands of
Armenian?
the Ottoman Empire? Armenians is correct. The bleaching of what ecosystems due to ocean
Coral.
acidification causes them to turn gray?
Coral reefs.
Correct. Name the poem by Friedrich Schiller that was used in Beethoven's...
Ode to Joy.
Correct. What surname was shared by assassinated Colombian center back Andres and a prolific drug lord from the same country?
Escobar.
Correct. And that's time. Wow. 300 points for St. John's through just three rounds. My goodness. Impressive stuff. And that's against a tremendous team in Elmwood, as we saw earlier on in the season. Just the final challenge to go. We'll take a quick timeout.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. This is the final challenge. Now it's time for the final challenge. Teams will once again have their buzzers in hand. Any team buzzing in with a correct answer will receive 10 points. If the team that buzzed in answers incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that same question and gain 10 points. Good luck.
And as always, the final challenge round is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County. St. John's, what an impressive performance so far. 300 points to Elmwood's 110. 4 minutes on the clock, buzzers in hand. Final challenge begins now. Transnistria is a breakaway state on the border of Ukraine and what other country? St. John's.
Moldova.
Correct. Moldova is right. Nicholas I was the target of what revolt in Russia that was named for the winter month in which it occurred? St. John's.
February.
No, sorry. Elmwood, you can steal?
January?
No, it's the Decembrist revolt. In 1938, the Mallard set a speed record for what objects while testing Elmwood?
Train?
Be more specific?
Steam train?
Correct. Rising in the Valdai Hills in Smolensk, what river has several tributaries, including the Pripyat? St. John's.
The Volga.
No, sorry. Elmwood? Nothing? It's the Dnieper River. What type of chamber music often features 2 violins, a viola?
String quartet.
String quartet is correct. 10 more points for St. John's. Alexander the Great and Helen of Troy are conjured by the title character and Mephistopheles in a play by what Elizabethan playwright? Elmwood.
Shakespeare?
No, sorry. St. John's?
Pass.
It was Kit Marlowe. Although this opera's final line was originally assigned to a character who also sings the prologue, it is traditionally sung by Netta's husband, Canio. Any guesses?
Nope.
It's Pagliacci. In what decade did the Homestead strike occur? Elmwood?
60s?
No, sorry. St. John's?
1990s.
1 century off, the 1890s.
You just said 90s.
Well, never mind. Name the author who wrote The Emperor of Ice Cream and 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. Anything? Stop fighting amongst yourselves down there.
Sorry.
It's Wallace Stevens. Martin Luther King's I've Been to the Mountaintop speech was given in what city where he was later assassinated? St. John's.
Memphis.
Correct. A poet with what surname wrote the line, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses"? St. John's?
Smith.
No, sorry. Elmwood? Yearning to be free, to finish out the question.
Frost.
Sorry, the poet was Emma Lazarus. What figure states, "I don't even control the railroads or commerce," after being called a fascist by a middle schooler? St. John's?
Elon Musk.
I like that, but no. Elmwood?
Sheldon.
Sorry, it was from the Barbie movie. Barbie said it. What Roman god was portrayed by Caravaggio with vines in his hair, surrounded by grapes in several portraits? St. John's.
Dionysus.
Sorry, no, it's Bacchus. What objects are put in a reduced echelon form? Oh, I should have let you steal, and I
A
forgot.
matrix.
Yes, it's a matrix. Historian Joseph Rowe credits what man with developing the first milling machine at his New Haven factory?
Lowell.
Say again?
Lowell.
No, sorry. Elmwood? Nothing?
No.
It was Eli Whitney. What war's Nivelle offensive included the Second Battle of the Aisne? St. John's.
World War One.
Correct. The Malice at the Palace began after a beer was thrown. St. John's?
I should have waited. Pacers. Pistons.
It was Indiana Pacers. It was what
Okay.
team did Ron Artest play for. Correct.
Okay.
Electrons, that's time. And St. John's ends on 360 points. Marvelous performance today, you guys. And Elmwood, dominant in round one, ran into a buzzsaw today in St. John's. But it was so wonderful to have you up here this season. Well done, guys. Well done to everybody. We'll be back with more second round action next time on Buckeye's Brainiacs Bowl. We'll see you then.